Jumping from one anniversary video to another, I'm picking a movie review this time. It's on Spy Kids. It turned 25 years old this year. Now, you may think I covered this movie since I started the channel, but actually, no, I didn't. I've been wanting to cover Spy Kids for a while after I covered some family films in the 2000s. And of course, the surprise that Spy Kids did pretty well, which I'll talk about when I get to Legacy. So, let's get to a review of Spy Kids. The plot goes, two parents, Ingrid and Gregorio Cortez, start off as spies and begin to have a family, having two kids, Carmen and Junie. Although they were retired from spies, they did have a secret mission, but the parents had been kidnapped by the evil mastermind named Fegan Floop. What a creative name, by the way. Now Carmen and Junie have to save the parents, using high-tech gadgets and vehicles, and stop an army of Floop's robot children. Yeah, this sounds bizarre. And I'm sure people in the comments are going to say, did you actually grow up with this movie, Jordan? And the answer is, yes. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's not the most bizarre family film I've seen. Speaking of that, my introduction to this movie was when one of my mom's friends owned a copy of Spy Kids on VHS, and my mom did give me one as a gift. So I popped the movie in, watched it, and it was pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's not as high as some of the other ones. Then I rewatched it again about a year ago, and yeah, I still think it's very good. A lot better than the sequels. The premise, like I said, is a bizarre one. The film was directed by Robert Rodriguez, a guy for being a one-man film crew. This guy creates low-budget but high-energy filmmaking. While I haven't seen all of his films, he makes some very good ones. And funnily enough, this was his first family film he directed. For a first try, he actually did a really good job. It does have the surreal imagery from Floop's show or At His Place, and it does have good laughs at the creative jokes. At the beginning, the mother tells her kids of a story about how the two couples met each other and got married, and then craziness happens at the wedding. I'm sorry, it's pretty funny and pretty creative. Some of the special effects are good. While it's nothing amazing when it comes to other family films with good special effects, this one did good. I like when they use green screen all throughout some scenes, like Junie talking to Floop. Sometimes it's wacky, like Floop has these henchmen shaped like thumbs, or the Fooglies. Yeah, they're unintentionally creepy. Like, I get why some people can't get into this film, and I'll talk about it in a second. Since it is a family film, it is also a comedy film. And yeah, it's pretty funny at times, but it's more campy. And now we can move on to the characters. Yeah, they're pretty funny and pretty likable. And I like this was my introduction to some actors like Antonio Banderas, Alan Cumming, and Danny Trejo playing Machete. Yeah, I like these characters. As for Carmen and Junie, they're good, and they are a part of the story, but I find both of them a little weak, especially Junie, but I get it, they acted well, and the characters had a purpose of wanting the parents back and trying to be actual spies. But yeah, a little minor nitpick of them, but they are good for what they are. Speaking of nitpicks or minor problems, it can be dumb with some of its humor, hence why it's a kids film like this. But yeah, it's cringe, but that's the only issue with the film. But I also have to acknowledge the insanity. But the question is, why do I not attach to this movie a lot more than some of the other ones? Like I said, when I rewatched it, it is a really good family film, and better than some family films out there. But I don't have a strong attachment to this compared to like Home Alone or some of the other ones. I watched this movie a few times as a kid, more so than some of the mediocre ones, but maybe the oddness of this film was taking a step back and moved on to other family films I watched more. However, on Rotten Tomatoes ratings for the audience score is low with 47%. I'd be lying if I said I couldn't see where that was coming from. I would not put it at that percentage. I would put it somewhere in the 70 or 75%, indicating it's good. Bottom line, I like the movie overall. I did like it as a kid, and I still like it now, and may not have a strong attachment in the past years. Now, as for Legacy, there's not a whole lot to say. It did gain a franchise, which I would like to talk about the sequels someday. As for accolades, there's not that many. but the film has gained a cult following. In 2024, this film was selected along with other selection of films for the National Film Registry. When I saw that, I was in total shock. I didn't know people were a fan of Spy Kids. Well, the main reason why is because the family is more the Latino, and on the National Film Registry tagline, it's culturally, so that explains it's for the Latino crowds. But putting on the film on the same vein as The Incredibles or Inception, that's crazy. But yeah, it's easily one of the good family films. If I didn't see this film back then, I would have missed it. But if you haven't seen it, you might check it out if you're into the creativity, which is really totally going for broke. But an entertaining film to watch. That is all for my review of Spy Kids. More film reviews are on the way, with a couple more coming for the month of April. I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye!